Lytudiep greets everyone. Wishes everyone a wonderful day. A feeling of peace after Tu Diep returns. Jame and she were too tired. They went through so many deadlocked fates, dangers, and gossips that never felt safe. After all, from love, from God's blessing, they overcame all fates to come together. They need a time to rest together. Today they will go on a picnic together. Let's follow the happy moments of this couple. Tu Diep woke up while the sky was still shrouded in mist. The faint light outside the window too weak to reveal the room's details but enough to let her feel the peacefulness of the early morning Highland air. The small kitchen under the stairs was warm, filled with the gentle steam rising from a pot of porridge simmering softly. The misty steam hovered around the lid, carrying the subtle fragrance of rice that mingled tenderly in the tiny, cherished space. Her small hands carefully tended to every step, blowing gently, stirring slowly, adding just a pinch of salt, a few sprigs of scallion. Without needing any reminder, she carried out these tasks with devoted care, as if this was the only way she could express her love for this home. When her aunt entered the kitchen, Tu Diep was already setting the breakfast table. Her aunt's voice was soft and affectionate, asking why she woke up so early. Tu Diep smiled lightly and replied she was making porridge for her and Jame. That simple answer touched her aunt's heart deeply. She placed a hand on Tu Diep's shoulder and softly said that having a daughter-in-law like her brought her peace. Tu Diep only smiled, feeling warmth bloom quietly in her chest. As they ate together, the morning light grew stronger, streaming through the wooden slats and casting long rays like threads of gold. Tu Diep wasn't used to breakfast yet, but because her aunt urged her gently, she tried to eat a little. Her aunt coaxed her, saying that a hard-working girl like her needed strength. As Tu Diep ate, she glanced at the slowly emptying bowl and softly promised she would start getting used to breakfast from tomorrow. That small vow was a quiet bond between the two women, connected not just by blood but by deep affection. After finishing the meal, Tu Diep slung her basket over her back and prepared to go to the market. Before stepping out, she turned back and asked if Jame was awake yet. Her aunt said he was still sleeping after working late last night. Tu Diep smiled and said she'd let him rest a little longer, then stepped out into the garden. Walking along the familiar red earth path, she passed by the vegetable beds she had tended carefully for months. Her hands moved nimbly, picking young shoots, bundling fresh greens carefully into her basket. Her steady steps led her to the village market, where the lively chatter and laughter blended into a symphony of rural life. Meanwhile, Jame woke up as the sun rose higher. He ate breakfast with his aunt and told her about the new plot of land he had bought the day before, a high, airy place perfect for building a home, planting a garden, and starting a private farm. His eyes lit up with passion and hope as he spoke about the land. He said he wanted to create that space for Tu Diep, so she could have a life truly her own. His aunt smiled gently, her eyes full of satisfaction seeing her son grow into a thoughtful man. She softly said all she wished was for the two of them to live happily and peacefully, nothing more. That afternoon, Jame prepared everything for a small picnic by a clear mountain lake. He packed the tent, food, drinks, a blanket, and a small fan to ward off the heat. He didn't want Tu Diep to lack anything. When she returned home and saw everything ready, he ran out to help carry her basket, smiling and telling her to change clothes quickly. Then they would go right away. She nodded, her cheeks flushed with happiness. The motorcycle carried them along winding forest paths beneath a vast blue sky, sunlight gently cascading over her hair like a soft, radiant halo. At the lake, they chose a flat spot by the shore, shaded by tall trees and dotted with clusters of blooming purple wildflowers. Jame pitched the tent and spread out the blanket, while Tu Diep arranged the food. Sitting close together, they ate and talked, their laughter echoing through the woods. Jame described the land he'd bought, painting pictures of a small house, vegetable garden, chicken coop, and a trellis of flowers by the door. Tu Diep listened quietly, her eyes sparkling like the lake reflecting the sky. She said that with a home like that, all she would need was him and her aunt to be truly happy. Jame squeezed her hand gently, promising he would strive to make it real. Day by day, as the sun dipped behind the mountain peaks, the lake glowed a fiery golden orange. A soft breeze rustled the leaves, whispering sweet secrets. Jame pulled her close, wrapping her in his arms, whispering that from now on, he would be by her side, caring for her, never letting her worry. Tu Diep rested her head on his shoulder, softly saying, "I trust you." In that moment, the world grew still to make way for their simple yet profound love. Night descended slowly, and they crawled into the tent. The sounds of crickets and rustling trees singing lullabies to two hearts that had found each other amidst the vast mountains, a new chapter beginning, full of love, togetherness, and the dream of building a home. No grand promises were needed, just today. Having each other was enough to believe tomorrow would be better.
Cà phê sủi ơi. Hả? Cái khả lộ. Bạn nọc luôn bảo ơi. Bạn nọc luôn ơi. Ya má cái sau bên đây. Yang makan apa? rơi phố thị vượt núi bay. Sao vậy?